welcome to episode 70 of Book Writing Tips, quick tips for new and seasoned authors, and I am your host, Alba Arango. In today's episode, I want to talk about how we as authors can use minor illnesses for character development. Now, let me just, put a pause right here. I am emphasizing the word minor. I'm talking about something like the cold or a flu, or you throw your back out. I am not talking about using something like, hey, getting diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. That is not a minor illness. And of course, that's going to have an incredible impact on your character and everyone who knows them's lives. I'm talking about what happens when your character gets the flu or a cold, or they throw their back out again. How you can use these moments for character development of not just your character, but other characters as well. So let's get to it. Let's talk about some minor illnesses and how they can help you with character development. Alrighty then. Today's episode will be in 2 parts as always, and probably a little bit shorter than usual because I actually chose this topic because I'm actually dealing with this right now. Most of you know, I think I've mentioned it before, that I am my mom's caregiver. She's 88 and she lives with me and I take care of her, and she threw her back out. So now I thought, dealing with someone that you know that is your loved one and their minor illnesses is actually a really great way to show character development in your books as well. So part 1 is going to be when your character is sick, and how they react to being sick is a great way to show off their character. And part 2 will be when other characters are sick and how your character and other characters react to that. So let's get down to it. Part 1. Your character gets sick. Now, you all have a certain way that you react when you get sick. I know I do as well. And there's usually 2 kind of general ways that people react when they get sick. You have the people who want attention, and you have the people who do everything to avoid it. Now, I don't know how you are, but I am going to tell you there is no right or wrong way to react when you get sick. If you are the type of person who needs the attention, that's great. And if you're the type of person who tries to avoid attention, that's great. There is no right or wrong. So there is no right or wrong for your character either. But showing how they react when they get sick is a good way to kind of show a little bit of insight into your character's personality. So, for example, let's take me, all right, because I'm the one talking. So when I get sick, a cold, flu, hurt my back, whatever, my whole instinct is to just withdraw. I like to avoid people, especially if I'm not feeling well. Like if I have a cold or whatever, I do not want to talk to people. I do not want to see people. I want to be curled up by myself in my bed, dog at my side, and that is it. I usually have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't want to be answering texts. I don't want any of that. I just want to sit there in my misery and be sick on my bed. That's what I want. But not everyone is like that. Some people are the opposite. They want to be cuddled. They want the attention. They want people checking in on them because they want to feel that comfort. And that totally makes sense, that they need that comfort emotionally to help them get through this sickness. And so there are, 2 different sides to this, and neither of them are wrong. It's just, which is your character more like? And by the way, if your book is taking place over the course of 1 day or 2 days, there really may not be room for adding them getting sick in there. Although, if they're starting to get sick, and that's how you start the book, is with them starting to get sick, then as their sickness is progressing for the next couple of days and getting worse and worse, is a great opportunity for you to show some character development with that and how they're dealing with getting a cold or getting sicker. Which brings me to my next point, is that do they take medicine or avoid it? And some people are adamant about not taking medicine until literally the last straw. Like it is so bad. Like I cannot breathe at all. I seriously am going to now need to take something. And some people are like, man, I'm starting to get the sniffles. Where is my, nasal course? Or where is my, Zyrtec, whatever. They're literally taking it as soon as they get it because they're trying to get, ahead of the game and not get as sick. So different people react differently. Which is your character? And so kind of knowing that if you're going to have your character get sick is a great way to kind of just show a little bit of insight into their thinking process with it. Why are they avoiding taking it? Are they into holistic medicine? So they're trying not to take anything over the counter, but has it gotten so bad that nothing holistic is working? So now they're resorting to taking over the counter. There's just all kinds of ways that you can sort of develop your character through them getting sick. And of course, do they go to the doctor or do they avoid the doctor? I think most people tend to avoid the doctor. Like at last resort, they're going to go to the doctor when they're sick. But there are some people who, nope. I mean, as soon as they start getting sick, they're at the doctor. Give me some antibiotics. Give me something to fight this off. I need, strongest cold medicine you got. Give me some cough syrup, whatever. They're there. They want it like now. And, it doesn't even have to be your main character. It could be another character. How does another character, your main character's like love interest, maybe that's how they react. But that's just a way to kind of show a little bit more insight into your characters. So before I get to how does your character deal with other people getting sick, it is time for the crazy law / writing prompt. And if you are new to the podcast, every week I give you a crazy law. And this is a law that once upon a time was a real law in history. And your job or challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to write a short story based on that law. And that's just a way to kind of flex your writing muscles, get in some fun, creative writing in, maybe a break from your work in progress. So here we go. This week's crazy law. In Kansas, it is illegal to hunt whales. Now, seriously, that they even had to make that a law is just like, why? And for those of you who are not from the United States, let me just explain. Kansas is in the middle of our country. Middle. Probably 1,000 miles at least away from any ocean. Why on earth they had to make that a law? I have no idea, but oh my goodness, I can come up with some whale of the story. Anyways, okay, let's get back to this before I lose my mind. All right, part 2, how does your character react when other people are sick? And again, there is no right or wrong. This isn't a place for you to cast judgment on people for the way they react. It's simply a way to showcase your characters and other characters and how they react to people getting sick. So for example, is your main character, are they nurturing or are they more of a, just suck it up? Because that's how they are. They are more of a suck it up. I'm sick. Yeah, so what? I'm still going to do this and this and this and this. I don't let sickness get me down. No one should let sickness get them down. And that is not a bad character trait. That's just a different character trait than the people who are more nurturing. Oh no, you're sick. I feel horrible for you. Two very distinct personality traits. Now, this can really give you great opportunities for character development. So for example, if your character, let's say Jack is, kind of more of the nurturing kind, finds out that his girlfriend, Amy, her sister is sick. And she lives alone. And so your character, Jack, is like, oh my gosh, Amy's sick? That's so sad. We should stop at the grocery store, maybe go get her some chicken soup because chicken soup's always good. And, sister or girlfriend is like, seriously? That's what delivery is for. All right. She can get anything delivered, including chicken soup. There's no reason for us to go over there. What if we get sick from it? Very different personality trait. And maybe Jack didn't realize that's what Amy was like. And so that's kind of like, okay, well, she's your sister. You know her better than I do. Now, maybe Jack is at the mailbox getting his mail and a stranger is at the mailbox and he's like, I don't recognize you. Are you from around here? And it's like, oh, no. My name's Jan. I'm just visiting, Lois. Lois has been sick and I just, I stopped by, brought her some groceries, got her some soup, and now I'm just checking her mail because, she lives alone. I want to try to help her out. Okay, great way to introduce that character and some personality into that character who may end up becoming Jack's new love interest because, the whole getting sick thing and the way Amy reacted to her sister being sick maybe gave Jack some ideas of how maybe Amy's not quite the right girl for him, but maybe, this new girl is. Anyways, these are just ways that you can actually show some character development. One last thing before I go. And that is that some people absolutely try to avoid sick people. Now, this may not be true in immediate family, but definitely, I know I've seen this in the workplace, and you probably have too. Especially if you're in an office setting and there's like cubicles and someone is sick and you can hear them coughing and sneezing, and you'll see your coworker like literally walk all the way around the building to get around this person because they do not want to be near the sick guy. And that can actually be a great way to introduce some like quirky or comedic elements to your story, is by just kind of like over exaggerating the way people react when someone is sick. That's always fun and quirky. You can, do the whole monk thing, right? It's so fun. Anyways, I know this was short, but again, my mind is not really in it. I've got a lot of stuff going on at home. So I hope this kind of gives you some insight into just some another way that you can add some character development. If you've got a story where you can actually put a scenario in where someone is sick, then you can definitely use that opportunity to showcase some, character traits that maybe you wouldn't have been able to showcase in other scenarios. All right. I know that's short, but that's it for this week. I hope that give you some ideas of something that maybe you can use in maybe not this book, maybe a future book, just something to keep in mind. I drop a new episode every Wednesday, and until next week, stay safe, stay sane, stay not sick, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week.